Hello everybody, what's happening, My name's Neil, welcome along to Midlife Motors, and we have ourselves a drone. But before we see a few more clips like this later in the video, we need to go back a few days and follow the steps as to how we got started.
There's a new drone on the market, a DJI 5 Pro Mini, and that's what I've gone for. It's an upgrade on the 4, which seems to have had quite a good lifespan. Lots of people like it, and the improvements on the 5 seem to be that little bit extra. I've gone for the Fly More package, so basically I get better batteries, more batteries. That gives us a flight time of up to 30 minutes, so that's going to be plenty for me. And I've gone for the RC2 controller, which is the one with the inbuilt screen, so that it's kind of plug and play. That's kind of important to me, to be honest with you. I'm not somebody that likes to faff around. I just like to go. So inside this box is a lot of paper, but this is the gadget itself. So I think we've got to get this out and see what's in there. There's certain things you have to do with a drone these days. We have to register it, because if it's over 100 grams, I think you have to register it now and get a pilot's license. Is that the sort of thing? We'll investigate how we do that. We'll investigate how we charge it up, how we fly it, that sort of stuff. So I'm very much a novice to this. So if you want to join me on the journey, see how it goes, then this is it. This is what we're going to try and do. It's an investment we've made in the channel to try and get some better clips when we're out and about in the cars, maybe the countryside here. And if you watched the video back at Christmas time when I did a little channel resume, made a very small amount of money on YouTube last year, and this is what I've spent it on. I bought it from a company called Drone Safe, and it was £890. Let's get this box opened and I'll show you what's in it.
Another quick clip here, just to break up the chit chat of what you can expect to see shortly in the video in more detail. This is the focus track feature, which I think is an absolute game changer. Just allows you to get great video content pretty quickly out of the bag. Following the steps that we're going to delve back into here means you can get going and get some fantastic shots straight away. This drone is ideal for beginners, absolutely ideal.
I had to temper my enthusiasm a little bit there because I had to go through some of the paperwork. Now, what we're doing, we're on charge here. There's the batteries, 3 of them charging up. The handset is on charge as well, so we're doing what we need to do. Within the paperwork here, there's a quick sort of start guide, which seems pretty good. Tells you how it takes off and lands, sort of. It's got an auto takeoff and land feature, which I think that's going to be quite handy. Apparently it goes up to 1.2 meters and will just hover. Means we're going to be able to test it inside, which is good. And it's also got an RTH feature, or a return to home feature, which is really good. So if we get panicky, if we lose sight of it, all that sort of stuff, if we hit that, then it will come back and land where it originally took off. So that's good. In with the paperwork is this barcode. Now, I've scanned that, and up has come lots of information about how you use the thing. Now, a lot of this we'll learn as we go, but there's a couple of things that I've spotted here that are quite handy. The auto takeoff feature, the focus track, that's a good one, because that's something I was quite keen to use. Basically, it'll track me as I run, the dog as it'll run, but more importantly, the cars as we drive them around, and we'll get some good shots. This, I think, can go up to 40 kilometers per hour, which is pretty impressive. It also tells you how to turn on the obstacle avoidance, so I'll definitely be using that. So that's been quite good as well. That was in with all the paraphernalia. It also has this thing about saying, before, as a drone pilot, you are responsible for flying your drone safely, and before you do that, you need to go on and you need to register it, because this is more than 100 grams in weight, and it has got an internal camera, which means that we're going to need an operator ID, which costs £11.79 a year. And here in the UK, if I just click on that, we get it from the Civil Aviation Authority. There's some info you have to fill out and a little test that you have to do. So that's what, while all this is charging, that's what I'm going to do next, so that we're legal and legit. Don't want to get into any trouble doing this. Oh, one other thing, that little box that I wasn't sure what it was filters for the camera, which is quite handy. I'm going to try it without them first, but that's quite good. They might give us some clearer shots. Right, fill this out. It's a few days later now, and finally here in the UK, the rain has stopped. We've got a still day. The sun has even come out. And in that time period, I've done my flyer ID. I've got my operator's ID as well. It's a test that there's 40 questions, takes about half an hour. I think you've got to get over 30. I think I got 36, but we've got that now for a year. And in the time period as well, between the last clip, I've been watching air photography. There's lots of YouTube videos on how to use these things, but I found his to be the best. Covers everything to do with what to do as soon as you get it out of the box, because you do have to link the two devices, you do have to charge it, there's a bit of firmware to update, and it takes you through all the stages to do that. And it also runs through on the screen here what all the controls use. Now, watching something like that's going to be much better than me. I'm very much, you can do it if you've never done it sort of approach. So today, I'm hopefully going to we're going to jump in the car and go further afield and send it right up. But just to show you how far we've got already, I'm just going to take the drone off this morning. So there's an easy way to do this with this drone. We're going to go take off. Oh, I should have held it. You can just see the drone there. It'll rise to 1.2 meters. And it'll just sit there ready to fly. You can see the satellites we've got. You can hear that it's quite close by because it's beeping away. And we can just fly the drone. Trying to keep it on the screen so you can sort of see it as a dot in the distance. There we go. We're flying it quite easily now. Don't know, is it still on the screen now? On here, I can, while I'm out there, I can take videos of the scenery. I can take photos. I can spin it round, look in various directions at what's going on out there. And we've got this as well. I want to go and try in a minute, if you like, is this track focus. It's worth focus track. It's worth watching a tutorial on that, because you've got various things that the drone will do to make you look a little bit more professional. So it'll track something as it moves, it'll focus in on a point of interest as you pan around it. I think there's a third one where it'll follow you. So it's got lots of devices that are going to make you look a little bit smarter than perhaps you are in the beginning. And then there are things that you can just explore. Now, one other good thing as a beginner, there's a button here. This is my favorite button. If I press that, it's got two options. It's got land, which it'll land where it is, or it's got this return to home.
Return to home.
Which it's going to do now. I think you can probably just about make the drone out. I'm going to put the controller down, so I'm doing absolutely nothing. And the drone is just going to come back and it's going to land exactly where it took off from. I think that's brilliant. As a beginner, that's absolutely ideal. Down it she goes. I'm getting more confident, can you tell?
This is us very much out and about now, and we've activated focus track. It has three settings, and the first one, which it defaults to when you turn it on, is this one, spotlight. Now, what the drone will do here is it's just going to hover, but it's going to track the car as it comes and try and keep it in the center of the screen. I think it defaults to this one because if you've watched other YouTube videos, this seems to be what people use the most. Whether it will be the most for me, I'm not too sure, but it is keeping a nice steady picture, and it is quite panoramic as well, which is nice. For this clip, we're still in focus track. However, this time I've selected POI, point of interest, and I've selected the car. So what the drone is going to do, it's going to focus on our chosen subject, and as you can see, we can pan around it. There's me waving there, look. We can pan around it. We can change the speed at which we pan around it. In a second, we'll come back the other way because we can change direction. And I think this is a feature that I'm going to use a lot. I like the images that this is giving off. Now, when you switch the drone on and you go into focus track, it helps you by trying to pick out things that you might want to focus in on. I'm in the clip as we saw there, and a crosshair came up on me. A crosshair also came up on the car, and you simply select the subject that you want to follow. This one here, I'm maybe a little bit high in this clip. I've maybe reduced the height, but otherwise I think this is giving off some great images, and it's definitely a feature I'll be looking to use a lot. Now we come to the final option on focus track, which is active track. And as you can see, the drone is now following the car. The drone will go up to 40 kilometers an hour, which is good. It means you can get a fair bit of speed up in the car and just hover along behind you, which is great. In fact, what it'll do is it'll hover from the back, from the front, and it'll let the car overtake us at sometimes, which is good. It covers all angles. Now, earlier I mentioned air photography's tutorial on getting up and running with the drone, and I think it's worth also watching his one on how to use focus tracked, because it's a shorter tutorial, only 15 minutes. And after watching that, we were getting these clips pretty quickly. Here we go. Here's the car overtaking us. And away it goes. We tried some different speeds on the way back here. Probably a bit high again. Going to have to look into my heights, aren't I? But as the car accelerates now, that's a bit better, isn't it? That gives us a better sort of panoramic view. This is a good shot. I'm going to use this a lot. And you can see the clips are coming out absolutely superb, which is exactly what we want. This is the final clip, and it's also going to be the outro. In this clip, I'm flying the drone myself, so it goes a bit skew if, bear with me. But I do get better as we get around the front of the car. Now, a couple of things worth pointing out. The camera records in 4K, which is great, and up to 120 frames per second. This I've set at 60 frames per second for a couple of reasons. One is the file size is a lot more manageable at that rate. And that's also the rate that I record at when I'm using my GoPro. So it keeps things sort of consistent, if you like. Now, the drone has no volume. It has no microphone. And I'm doing these voiceovers to these clips using the microphone on my laptop, which isn't the best. So I'm going to have to invest in a mic so that I can do better voiceovers. Here we go. We're coming around the car here. I'm sure it gets a little bit smoother and better, but it's all about practice. So yeah, those are a couple of lessons learned. If this has been helpful, please give us a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe and see more of this footage and more drone footage, then that would be great. Thanks very much for watching this one, though. I shall see you again soon. Goodbye.